Hey everyone, welcome to Jim the Giant's Big Pod, where we review vintage toys and retro video games. Today we're firing up the gray box that saved gaming, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. If you grew up in the late 80s or early 90s, this thing probably lived under your TV and changed your childhood forever. Let's dive into why the NES is still one of the most important pieces of gaming hardware ever made. First, a little history. Nintendo launched the system in Japan as the family computer, Famicom, on July 15, 1983. But it was the North American release in October 1985 that really mattered.
Merry Christmas!
The video game industry had just crashed hard in 1983. Stores were full of terrible games, Atari was dying, and everyone thought home consoles were over. Nintendo took a huge risk. They rebranded it as the NES, gave it a sleek VCR-like design, and introduced the famous seal of quality to make sure only good games got released. Smart move. By the time production ended, Nintendo had sold over 61 million units worldwide. The NES didn't just survive, it single-handedly revived the entire industry and set the template for every console that followed. Now, let's talk hardware and accessories because the NES had some of the coolest and weirdest add-ons ever. The standard setup came with two rectangular controllers that still feel perfect in your hands today. But the deluxe set bundled the console, two controllers, the Zapper light gun, and the legendary robotic operating buddy, Rob. That little robot arm played Gyromite and Stack Up with you by physically moving pieces while you controlled the on-screen action. It was Nintendo's clever way of saying, this isn't just a toy, it's interactive entertainment. The Zapper turned your living room into a shooting gallery for Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley. Then there was the Power Glove, motion-controlled gloves that were ahead of their time, but honestly pretty frustrating. The PowerPad floor mat let you run in place for track and field style games, and the NES Advantage joystick gave you that arcade feel. These accessories made the NES feel like a whole entertainment system, not just a console. Of course, the real magic was in the games. Over 700 titles were released, but a handful defined the system. Super Mario Bros. From 1985 sold over 40 million copies, and basically invented the side-scrolling platformer. You're Mario, jumping on Goombas, busting blocks, and rescuing the princess across 8 colorful worlds. Simple, addictive, and still fun today. Duck Hunt, often bundled with the Zapper, sold 28 million copies and turned family game nights into hilarious shouting matches. Super Mario Bros. 3 in 1988 is still considered by many the best 2D Mario ever. New power-ups like the Tanuki suit, massive worlds, and that airship-level music that lives rent-free in our heads. It sold 18 million copies. Then you've got The Legend of Zelda. Open-world exploration, dungeons, and that iconic "it's dangerous to go alone" moment. Metroid gave us the first strong female protagonist in Samus Aran and non-linear sci-fi adventure. Contra and its sequel Super C delivered run-and-gun co-op chaos with the Konami code. Mega Man 2, Castlevania, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, each one a masterpiece that launched franchises still going strong. These weren't just games, they were cultural events. Fast forward to today, and the NES is a serious collector's item. The retro market is hotter than ever. In recent years, a factory-sealed 1986 NES Deluxe set complete with Rob, Zapper, and both games sold at heritage auctions for $120,000, setting a record for the most expensive commercially released console ever. Sealed copies of Super Mario Bros. Have gone for as high as $2 million, and early Legend of Zelda cards have fetched hundreds of thousands. Even common games in nice condition are climbing in value because people want that piece of history. So why does the NES still matter in 2026? Because it proved video games could be more than a fad. It gave us timeless characters, innovative gameplay, and pure joy. Whether you're dusting off your original hardware, playing on an EverDrive, or grabbing the NES Classic Mini, the magic is still there. That's our deep dive on the Nintendo Entertainment System. What was your favorite NES game or memory? Drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you next time on Jim the Giant's Big Pod, where the pixels never fade. Good night.